Hi, it's Anish. Welcome to the garden. So today we're going to talk about tomatoes, my favorite vegetable. You can make salsas, chutneys, and all manner of sauces, so I grow lots of tomatoes. As you can see behind me, I've built the trellis here, and they're super important for two reasons. One, as you can see with the strings here, to support the tomato, and the second is for frost protection. This frame has been really great on trying to protect my tomato plants. And all you do is you just take the sheet and just let me show you here. You take the queen size sheet because this is about 7 feet long and about 6.5 feet tall, and you just drape the sheet over there, and you just use these clips like so, and you just grab the sheet there and flip it on. So you can use that to protect your plants. And the other thing that's really great about this trellis is supporting the tomatoes. As you can see, these tomatoes, I got them strung up, right? Now, you can use tomato cages, but I prefer the stringing them up this way because it allows the tomato to fully expose the sun better. And also, it's better to trim and manage your vine. So if you don't want to build a frame like I described, or have access to a space where that happens, but if you have a chain link fence, you can just put tomatoes on pots and just string them up like what I've done here. So that's the other part of my garden. And as you can see, I just got the string tied up right up to the top. And it also works well when you have frost warning because I just bring a sheet and just drape it over the fence. And there you go. So another suggestion I might have for you is how to keep your plant healthy, is to trim back on the foliage as the growing season grows. So as you can see here, we've trimmed the tomato, the leaves, um, that were dying over the season, and what we're left here are just the tomatoes that are waiting to ripen. Even then, I have trimmed quite a bit of the leaves away. Now back here is an example of where I haven't done anything. So it's an opportunity for me to share with you how I would approach trimming this. So you can see the leaves back here are sort of dead and dying, and some of them are even touching the ground. And that's not so great because if there's any, fungus or any other things that are in the soil or any of the bugs, that's an opportunity for them to get onto the leaf and climb up onto the plant. So usually you want this space clear of any leaves touching the soil. So I'm going to go ahead and trim a whole bunch of these leaves. So make sure you get your sharp clippers there. And you just go ahead but make sure that when you're doing this, you don't trim the the garden twine that's holding up the tomato. So sometimes you'll come across a little tomato. It's a fruit, but at this point in the season, it's not likely to mature. So it seems kind of heartless and cruel, in fact. But I'm just going to go ahead and trim this whole thing off because I want the energies to be directed to the bigger ones that are more likely to succeed. So go ahead, if you find things that are even flowering or really small and you know they're not going to last, you go ahead and trim that away because you want your energies focused on. And here's my dog Shiloh. Yeah, she keeps the squirrels away from the garden. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. All right, back to the tomatoes. So as you can see here, there's still little fruit forming, and this is the growing tip. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a big old cut. So the plant now is going to direct all its energy to ripening the remaining fruit that's on the vine. I might even go ahead if I know that I want to ripen. I might just go ahead and pick one of these tomatoes. They're almost there, and I can take them inside and put them with bananas or apples, and you'll ripen. So that'll be another way in which you can ripen these ones that are looking green. So here we are next to the cherry tomatoes. It's a bit of a jungle, and cherry tomatoes tend to do that. Now I've left this just be, partially because they're a faster growing variety, so I can wait on them a little bit. Now, having said that, I probably should have started trimming them about, early September, about a couple of weeks ago, but here we are. And what I really want is the is the plant to focus their energy on the fruit that's growing here. So you can see, right? So as the days of sunlight become scarce, you want to open up the canopy a bit and allow the sun to come into the fruit that's there. So there's a nice big orange one that's almost ready to pick. There's a whole bunch of nice red fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and trim all this to make sure that there's the sun coming into the tomatoes. So here are some of the tips I'm going to leave with you. First, you trim back the leaves as the growing season progresses, particularly as you're trying to get the fruit to ripen in the late season, because you want the sun to hit the fruit and ripen it. That's a surefire way of getting the fruit to ripen. Second, I've discovered that building a trellis is a great way to support the tomato, both during the growing season, as you can see over here. These are a great way to support your tomatoes, and as the danger of frost arises, particularly in the shoulder season, you can put the sheets over the top and protect your tomato. Thirdly, now we talked a bit more about this in our companion planting video, is go ahead and plant a whole bunch of marigolds around the tomato edges. They help prevent pests like slugs and other things from getting to your tomatoes. So I hope you found this video informative. Now I gotta go over there and trim back that jungle of a cherry tomato bush.